Hi guys, welcome to Shield's Cooking. Today we're going to create a beautiful pigeon dish with some beetroot and grapes. So, let's begin. First we're going to make the beetroot reduction. Pour 750 grams of beetroot juice in a saucepan. Then cut 40 grams of ginger and 40 grams of galangan in thin slices. Add this to the juice together with 6 pieces of star anise, 20 black peppercorns and 10 sprigs of thyme. Now reduce this on a low heat till 1/3. Then put it through a sieve. After that, cut a big beetroot on a mandolin in thin slices. Now lay them on a cutting board and cut them with a big round cutter. Transfer the slices in a container and submerge it with the reduction. Then cover it with plastic foil and let it marinate overnight in your fridge. Now for the baked beetroot. Put 500 grams of flour in your worktop and use the bottom of the bowl to make a hole in the middle. Fill this with 150 grams of coarse salt and 250 grams of water. Knead this into a nice ball of dough. Now dust some flour on your worktop and put the dough on top. Roll this into a thin sheet. Then transfer 6 beetroots on a tray that's laid with a silicone sheet and cover it with the salt dough. Bake this at 200 degrees Celsius for 90 minutes. Once it's cooked, remove the dough and let it cool down. After that, clean the beetroots and transfer the trimmings on a tray. Dry this in an oven at 60 degrees Celsius. Once it's dry, transfer it into a blender and spin it into a fine powder. Put it into an airtight container and keep it for later. Then cut the beetroot in thick slices and cut those slices with a round cutter into the desired shape. Save the trimmings. Put the cut beetroot on a tray, cover it with plastic foil and keep it in your fridge. Then the beetroot cream. First clean 1 shallot and chop it. Now heat up a pan and add 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of sugar, 4 grams of salt and the chopped shallot. Mix this and then let it caramelize. Once it's caramelized, add 500 grams of the beetroot trimmings and bake this for around 5 minutes. Then add 200 grams of vegetable stock. Reduce this completely. Now transfer it into a blender and spin it till smooth. Then put it in a piping bag and keep it in your fridge. Now let's clean the pigeon. Start by cutting off the head and then the neck. Cut both wings and the claws off. Now make a small incision in the legs and break the joints. Cut them off. Make an incision at the back and twist the bottom off. Now take out the heart. Then wrap the pigeon in plastic foil and keep it in your fridge. Keep the trimmings for later. In another video I'll show you how to make a pigeon sauce. After that, transfer 2 pieces of star anise in the blender together with 10 pepper grains and 6 sprigs of thyme. Mix this and then add 50 grams of salt and 40 grams of brown sugar. Mix this once more until it's a fine powder. Now put some on a tray and put the pigeon hearts on top. Cover this with some more powder. Make sure it's completely covered and then put them on a clean tray, cover them with plastic foil and let it cure for 16 hours in your fridge. After that, rinse the hearts in cold water and dry them on a clean kitchen paper. Now put some straw in a metal container and put the hearts in a bowl in the middle. Set fire to the straw and cover the top. Wrap this tight with plastic foil and let it sit for 2 hours. Then remove the foil, put the hearts on a metal tray and let them dry in an oven at 60 degrees Celsius. Now for the pigeon legs. Season them with salt and black pepper. Now transfer them into some neutral oil and cook them in an oven at 110 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. After that, take them out of the oil and remove the skin, veins and bones. Then put the meat on your cutting board and chop it fine. Now transfer it into a bowl. Then cut some chives fine and add half of it to the pigeon. The rest you can keep for later. Also add some of the beetroot cream and a splash of balsamic vinegar. Mix this and then keep it in your fridge. Then put 100 grams of hazelnuts on a tray and toast them at 150 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. When they're still hot, chop the hazelnuts fine. Put them in a bowl. Then for the balsamic gel. Pour 100 grams of apple juice in a saucepan with 70 grams of balsamic vinegar, 30 grams of sugar, 2 grams of salt and 3 grams of agar powder. Mix this and then bring it to a boil for 2 minutes. After that, pour it in a bowl and let it cool down in your fridge. Then transfer it into a blender and spin it into a smooth gel. And put it in a piping bag. Now we can bake the pigeon. Season the whole pigeon with salt and only pepper on the inside. Then heat up a baking pan on a high heat and add a splash of oil. Bake the pigeon golden brown on all sides. Once golden, add a big knot of butter and let it caramelize. Then add 4 bay leaves, 4 leaves of sage and 4 cloves of garlic cut in half. Now baste the pigeons for around 1 minute with the hot fat. Then put them on a rack and cover them with the hot fat and the herbs and garlic. Cook them for around 10 minutes at 110 degrees Celsius and then let them rest for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, transfer the marinated beetroot on a tray and put some of the confit pigeon filling on top. Now fold this together. Then put the baked beetroot on the tray as well and cover this with the Beetroot Reduction. Heat this up at 110 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. Now take your pigeon and put it on a cutting board. Insert your knife just beside the bone and cut it all the way down. After that, cut it off. Do this as well on the other side. Now remove the skin and cut the breasts in half. Transfer them on a tray and glaze half of the breast with the pigeon grape sauce. Like I already said, I'll show you how to make it in another video. Cover the glaze with the chopped hazelnuts, the chives and some flaky salt. Then we can start to plate. Put the stuffed beetroot on the plate and lay the baked beetroot next to it. Pipe the beetroot cream on there as well and do the same with the balsamic gel. Then grate the cured and smoked pigeon heart on the beetroot. Now put the breast next to it and decorate it with some nasturtium leaves and the pigeon loin. And now finish it off with the beetroot powder and the pigeon grape sauce.
Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. So please let me know in the comments on what you want to see next and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, bon appétit!